have no choice. I had no choice. I mean, you left me no choice. Do I have a choice? What choice have I? These are things we say and questions we ask. But are there times when we really do not have a choice? Or are there times when we just think we don't have a choice, but we do? This is easily the million-dollar question, but it's not one that is easy to answer. Trust me. Life is about choices and making choices. Adults made choices for us when we were children because we weren't old enough to make those choices ourselves. I mean, we didn't even know what was good and what was not. We didn't know what was good for us. So it was the responsibility of the adults to make those choices for us. That means our parents, our teachers, our pastors, our friends, our cousins, our neighbors. Name them. You had them. They made the choices for you because you didn't know what was good for you. Now, we have to make choices for ourselves because we're old enough now to know what is good, I believe. So, when and where you choose not to make a choice, one will be made for you. That's the reality. If you choose not to make a choice will be made for you. Because in effect, your choice not to make a choice is in itself a choice. You have chosen not to make a choice. Life recognizes no vacuum. Life has to continue. Because the choices you make affect others, and the ones you don't make could slow others down. So they'll make those choices for you. And the consequences of those choices will be binding on you, whether you like it or not. So, choices made for you, by you, could be good, could be bad, but altogether, they have brought you to where you are. Which leads me to my conclusion that the choices you make you. The choices made for you by your parents, by other adults in your life as children, they were all well intended for the most part. Because I don't think any parent will make choices that will destroy their children knowingly. So the choices they made for you back then were based on the things known to them and the options that they had. So they chose from the options that they had. And you have been choosing from the options that you have. That could have turned out great for some people, not so great for others. Now, if you ask the parents and the adults, I bet they will give you their reasons. They will tell you what they did was what they thought was best. And that will be true because you cannot give what you don't have. And you can only give out of what you have. So what they knew was what they taught you. The choices they made were the options they were given. And so it wasn't altogether meant to harm you or to break you. Now, let's fast forward to this moment. Those choices have already been made. You can't unmake them. You can't undo what's been done, either good or bad. But here you are. You have to make choices still. You have to carry on making choices. You have to make choices to erase the effect of the choices that were not good and to reinforce the ones that are good. So you still continue to make choices. So what I say to you is, please get on with it. Get on with it. Take the lessons from the past experience. Bring them into the present, but junk the experience. Leave the experience in your past. Take the lessons into your present so that you can move into your future. Because if you choose to lament, to blame, and to bemoan, guess what? That is not a healthy choice. And it's not helpful in any way. As a matter of fact, you might be making choices that are worse than the ones you're lamenting. You might end up making choices that are worse than the ones you're bemoaning. So that is not helpful, neither is it healthy. Now that you know, I believe you know better, and you're responsible for making your own choices. Start making good ones. Start making good choices, because it's not good enough to just make choices for the fun of making them. You have to make wise choices. You have to make good choices. Now, there are times, even with the best of intention, that the choices you make may not land you where you plan. What am I trying to say? Even good choices sometimes, they miss the mark. They don't exactly get you where you thought they will get you, because all the indices point to that while you were planning, but the factors that are involved are not within your control. So some things go off hinge, some things throw you off the mark. Now, there are good misses and there are bad misses. A good miss is one that is close to where you need to be, just missing by a few inches or a few whatever, SI units you're measuring by. That's a good miss because it means you have made appreciable progress. A bad miss is one that has no value at all, that has landed you in a horrible place that you would even wish you hadn't started at all. Dr. David Hawkins, in his book, the title of the book is Normal People Do the Craziest Things. It's a very interesting title. He said something in that book, and I quote, he said, "You are not a product of your experiences, but your ongoing response to those experiences." Which is true. You are not a product of the experience, but how you respond to it is the key. So you cannot change the experience, but you get to choose how you respond. I'll say that again. You cannot change the experience, but you get to choose how you respond to that experience. You either take the lessons from the experience and move forward, or you wallow in self-pity. You fill your heart with resentment and regret, and your regret will not let you forget. So what I say is, forget regret. The choice is always yours, so choose wisely. But whatever you choose to do, rule your world with good thoughts and brilliant ideas.